Alright, so like I said in the Universal panel breakdown, I'm not going to give you guys a trailer reaction to the FNAF 2 teaser that came out. I am going to give you a kind of a teaser breakdown as to what exactly I think is going to happen in this film. So let us get into it, shall we? So we open up on this shot of the poster for Freddy Fazbear's. I'm assuming that this is the first location because it is the older designs of the animatronics. Um, and I have this at quarter speed so that I'll be able to stop it and pause it at the right moments. We see an an endoskeleton uh, powering up. Now, in two, the um, older animatronics, which they're not older, well, they kind of are. But the animatronics from the first game, that's how I should have worded it, um, appear a bit withered away, with like parts of their endoskeleton showing. Now, granted, there are also some other endoskeletons like in the background of FNAF 2, but they don't necessarily like come alive and attack the person necessarily. I don't think it's until what sister location or maybe Ultimate Custom Night where like the endos can actually attack you, but that's neither here nor there for this movie. But we see the endoskeleton powering up, and then we cut to the Blumhouse logo with a voice saying, "Welcome back, everybody. Are you ready to start the show?" Um, and then we get a shot of this um, Fazbear carnival, as I'm going to call it. That the set photos that came out showed that there was going to be some type of carnival with all sorts of FNAF stuff around. And of course, you can see right here on the wheel we have Bonnie, the Cupcake, and Freddy. We don't see who's on this space. Now we see Abby, because in the next shot, it's Abby looking up and looking terrified. But here, this is most certainly the second location because you see the toy animatronics up here. With the other location from the first film, it was just Freddy, and it was the older version of Freddy. But this is clearly the second location because it has the toy animatronics on the marquee. You see Abby riding up, and she looks horrified. Of course, we get the title saying this December. Um, then we have Gone to Fix My Friends. And I don't know exactly who this could be. It could be Abby. It could potentially be Abby. Or it could be one of the animatronics, as we will see later on in the trailer. Um, but I'm leaning more of it being towards Abby in this instance. But um, we'll find out when the movie comes out, and also when we have a bit more footage to look over. You see Mike looking at that note. Of course, Elizabethlail back to play um, Vanessa. Of course, she got stabbed by her own dad, William Afton, at the end of the first film. So she's out of the hospital now and all recovered. And she tells Mike they're out there. And we then get a quick shot of what I assume. Yeah, that is 100% Toy Bonnie, because you can tell by like the dots on the helmet, or the head, I should say, helmet. Um, that this is 100% Toy Bonnie. Peering through a window, and Mike says, "Where?" You see somebody hitting the Showtime button, because throughout the trailer they're counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I was like, who is this guy? It's Wayne Knight, same guy from Jurassic Park, and who also voiced Al, as I found out when he was at a convention. So it was cool seeing him in this trailer, but he is going to meet a very, very grisly fate, as he is going to potentially be killed by Toy Chica. That is 100% Toy Chica. You can see the outlines of the beak starting to form. He screams. He gets pulled into what I assume is a classroom, obviously, because this is a school setting. Um, so of course in 2, the toy animatronics and also the older animatronics are able to move around. They're able to free roam, essentially, being able to roam from room to room. Uh, Whereas in FNAF 1, all the animatronics kind of had, like, you know, their spots, essentially. I mean, same in FNAF 2, but that was the lore that they gave in FNAF 2, was the toy animatronics can move around, whereas the ones from the other location just stayed on the stage. Um, we get a shot of Toy Chica walking up. This is a cool shot. Mangled, or Mangle, busting through a window. That's pretty cool. Of course, Mangle is like the, you know, thing that all the kids like tore apart and then tried to rebuild again. That comes from the phone guy in one of the calls in the second game. Um, I just find it interesting that they are um, breaking into a house, of course, with our trio of heroes. And it just reminds me of the FNAF musical that Random Encounters did, with the fourth night, of course, being homage to the fourth game, in which the Nightmare animatronics are in the house. So I just find that very interesting. Not necessarily an homage, but kind of reference. So, of course, we see our trio of heroes scared because, the animatronics are coming into the house. I'm assuming this is Toy Freddy, just based off of the feet. This is maybe Toy Freddy opening up the garage door. Get a quick shot of Toy Bonnie holding a knife, which is scary. I like, the animatronics are known for, like, killing people, but like doing so with a knife, that seems like a little much. We see a what I assume to be a married couple cowering in fear over something. I didn't notice the shadow back there until now. My assumption, so this is what I think the plot for this movie is going to be. Much in the same way that FNAF 2 had its little mini games in between deaths um, in the game, where it was revealed more of Afton's backstory through, like, the Foxy mini game, the Freddy mini game, and the puppet one, especially with Give Gifts, Give Life. Um, so this may be Afton at one of the victims' houses, and the parents just see this, like, dude in a yellow bunny outfit, and holding a knife, or potentially maybe even their dead child, depends, and they just like cower in fear. We get a quick shot of a figure at the end of a hallway with a whole lot of doors. This shot kind of reminded me of FNAF 4, where you run up to the door, you open the door, turn on your flashlight to see if there are any, like, nightmare animatronics. Now, this could be a number of people. This could be Mike. It could be William Afton when he was younger. Or it could be Henry Emily. Now, there have been rumors going around that Skeet Ulrich may be playing Henry Emily. And if that happens, people will lose their shit. But in a good way. Because Skeet and Matt, both ghost faces from the original Scream, are reunited. Kind of. But I will just find that very interesting that they would have Lillard and Ulrich, two guys best known with us horror fans as being the ghost faces of the first Scream. Now they're against each other in this second FNAF film. That'd be very, very interesting. Moving on, we have Vanessa pulling out her gun, pointing it at who I don't necessarily know. We have a shot of Balloon Boy with his eyes lighting up. Now, of course, in the second game, Balloon Boy is the bane of your existence. Well, a lot of stuff is, but he's a big bane in your existence because he takes away your flashlight's ability to turn on. He just pops himself into the room, he laughs, and you can't use your flashlight, and then you die to Foxy, most likely. So this may be a way of visualizing that, where he just like takes away the energy out of your batteries in a flashlight. Maybe that's what they'll do. Of course, Balloon Boy had a couple brief appearances in the first film, but that was as a toy. But now he's an actual animatronic now, so we have to deal with him and his laughter in this film probably a lot. We see a really quick shot. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh god. Let me see if I can pause it at the right time. Boom. So we see a quick shot of a yellow hand grabbing a knife. And I'm pretty certain that that is 100% Afton going to probably kill somebody. So what I'm thinking the story is for this film is that, much in the same way of 2, we're going to have two things going on. We're going to have a main story set in like maybe 02, 03, because the gap between games 1 and 2, game 1 I think takes place in 93, and the second game takes place in 87, so it's a prequel. I don't think you can necessarily do that here with, having, of course, Elizabethlail, Josh Hutcherson, and Piper Rubio coming back to play Vanessa, Mike, and Abby, and they have something going on in the present. I think what's going to happen is the film may be set in like maybe 2002, 2003-ish, and Mike, Vanessa, and Abby may be tasked with going to the second location to shut down the toy animatronics, while also learning more about William Afton through Vanessa, and learning about his backstory and seeing flashbacks to his old life, because that bunny hand looks a little bit retro to me. So this may be an older version of the Golden Bonnie suit before we see it like all like withered away and its appearance in the first film. We see two metallic, I don't want to say arms, but two robot things grab a dude by his neck and pull him up. I'm going to assume that this is Mangle again because I don't think it's Ennard. Ennard is more humanoid, and those don't look like human like limbs. Um, and plus, Ennard is more of a sister location nod. So I think this is definitely Mangle grabbing a dude and then probably biting his skull open. We see an object pierce through a windshield, and then of course R3 looking on, scared. And then the voice on the trailer says, "The show is just about to start." Cut to a woman screaming, and then of course we end off with the title card, and of course the Freddy Fazbear music, the dun 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 dun, and let me see if I can pause it at the right time. There it is. We have Toy Freddy walking around this Fazbear Carnival, which I think is such a cool shot. And my assumption is probably done practically with like a suit performer, much like they did with the first film. Um, but yeah, I'm like super excited about this first one, or this second one, I should say, because the first one, a lot of people levied a lot of criticisms at it, saying like the story wasn't necessarily there, the performances weren't necessarily there. Um, but for us FNAF fans that have followed the franchise for a long time, it was exactly what we wanted. All the references, lines quoted, mechanics, characters, all that stuff. It was just so fun to watch, and it was meant for the fans. And despite it being released uh, on Peacock and in theaters at the exact same time, um, it made almost $300 million at the box office. And considering that this one is being released exclusively in theaters, I'm going to make an assumption that it is going to make a hell of a lot more money now. So I'm very excited to see all the theories and all the speculation leading up to this movie. And I'll be along with that every step of the way. But yeah, I'm just really excited for it to come out in December. But yeah, well, I've got one more video left to record, and that'll be kind of done for recording for today. I might try to actually, no, I lied. I don't have one more video. I have two more videos, and I may throw in Disney's panel at the end of the day. We'll see. But until next time, guys, take care.